the most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real-world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Well, good morning. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us once again here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Sunday morning, US Indy Car action brought to you by StickQuik.com, organizers and fasteners. Today, the final Triple Crown race in season number 6 for the US Indy Car League presented by StickQuik. And, well, we've had quite an eventful season already down to just the last 2 races, and nobody going to be able to walk away with the extra points for securing all 3 wins in the Triple Crown hunt. We've had 2 different winners already in the other Triple Crown races, so nobody going to get those coveted extra 50 points. I tell you what, they could definitely go a long way, as the point standings are, I don't want to say out of reach, but there are a few drivers that have an outside shot of dethroning the Fast 31 of Robert Mitchell. Mitchell sitting on top of your standings right now. 73 points back is the 13 of Howard Livingston. Ben Wallace sitting in 3rd. Craig Forsyth sitting in the 4th spot. Richard Kelball 5th. 6th is Jonathan Barnhart. Jason Lowe 7th. Oscar Gonzalez moves up another 2 positions, now into the top 8. And Tim Keene and his 4-wheeling engineering machine sitting in the 9th position in the point standings. 10th, David Zaleski. He rounds out your top 10 in the point standings. But Howard Livingston, he's the only driver out there with somewhat of an outside shot if he's able to win these next 2 races and have Robert Mitchell have another bad race. It could mathematically, possibly, maybe be done. We all know how I am with math, and it's no good. So, yeah, we'll leave the points and calculations to the statisticians, as, you know, that's just not what I do, not my job. Meanwhile, we'll jump down track, show you a little bit of the action going on here, as we've got about 3.5 minutes remaining in happy hour before we get things set to go qualifying here at Atlanta Motor Speedway for race number 12 in the 13-race season. Gonna be an interesting little track. Atlanta's always been known to have a very abrasive track surface, so gonna be interesting to see how these drivers' tires hold on, how they manage the tires, how they manage the fuel. Fuel looking somewhere around the 45 to 50 lap mark, so these drivers are going to have to make at least 2 pit stops to get to the end of today's 130-lap race here at Atlanta Motor Speedway for the StickQuik 200 here in the US Indy Car League, presented to you by StickQuik. Once again, thanks for joining myself, Darkside Dave, in the cave up here in Turn 3 Racing Network booth. All the fans, friends, family, I can spit it out eventually, viewers that stop by, we do appreciate each and every time you come by. Oscar Gonzalez bringing his car to a slow. Howard Livingston and his 13 machine out there getting some final laps in as well. We're down to just about 60 seconds remaining before we get set to head off into qualifying. Looks like drivers just getting some final touches on their pit road speeds, when to come down off the track and when to hit that pit road limiter. Now watching that 666 of Inigo Mardones as he makes his way around turns 1 and 2. He's got Luis Gonzalez just in front of him. Oscar Gonzalez, only driver, well, he's got I believe it's 3 races in a row. That's right. Looking back at the stats now, there you see it right there. Well, I see it. You don't see it, but I see it right there. Last 3 races out, Oscar Gonzalez walking away with a race win. Can he continue his winning ways and maybe sweep the rest of the season? We'll have to wait and find out, as we've got today's race here in Atlanta. Then next Sunday morning, we head to my home track, Charlotte Motor Speedway, for the season finale, Season 6. Stay home, stay safe here in the US Indy Car League, presented by StickQuik.com. And that's it. There you have it. Drivers booted from the track because it is time to go qualifying. Gonna give it just a brief moment. Let's see if we've got anybody getting ready to jump out there on track. Looks like we've got a few drivers getting in their cars, strapping in, getting the belts tight. Looks like Richard Kelball, one of the very first drivers to get out there on track, actually having some issues, so he'll stop. Will Stearns will continue on. And as these drivers make their laps, we'll throw up the lap times up in the left-hand side of the screen for you. Gonna show you down on the bottom. Looks like hardly anybody out there qualifying already, and just as I say that, multiple drivers rolling off of pit road right now. Richard Kelball, Howard Livingston, Craig Forsyth, Will Stearns, Jason Lowe, all on the track. Will Stearns in his 306 down into turn 1 and 2, coming off of turn number 2. Now gonna be trying to see if he can't put himself on top of the speed charts here on his first time lap. Coming across the stripe this time, and no, the drivers won't be able to utilize very much of that apron because the grass is right there, so drivers not going to be able to get that shortcut, that I call it a shortcut, down on the apron, cutting some of the track, trying to get a faster time. Craig Forsyth goes to the top of the speed charts right now with a 25:46. Can Stearns do anything with it with his second time lap? We'll wait and see. No, he can't. Howard Livingston gonna slot in that top spot in his 13 machine as we watch him work his way off of turn number 2 on his second time lap. Still, Inigo Mardones and Luis Gonzalez yet to come down onto the track, make their qualifying laps. We'll jump on board now with the driver of the StickQuik 31 Dallara IR18, Robert Mitchell, as he makes his way down the backstretch. Mitchell not having a timed lap just yet, so this is his first timed lap. We'll see where he can shake out as we are close to right about the halfway mark here in qualifying. Halfway through the 5-minute qualifying session as Mitchell goes to the bottom of the track now, only good enough for 7th on his first timed lap. Mitchell coming to the stripe again, crossing the line this time. Where's he going to shake out? Jump to all the way to the top of the board. Quick time, Robert Mitchell, 25:27. Going to take that top spot on the speed charts. Everybody putting in a timed lap already. So there you have it. There it is. It's all done. It's all over with. Mardones coming across the line for his time lap. Where's he going to shake out? First time lap only good enough for 18th. Luis Gonzalez also still out there on track. So these two drivers only ones that are going to have a shot to dethrone Robert Mitchell from that pole position. Mardones down into 3 and 4, coming off of 4, keeping it low. Where's he shake out across the line? Only good enough for the 8th position, not really improving his timed lap right there. And this is the last man with the last chance to do it. Luis Gonzalez coming across turn 4 back to the front stretch, gonna cross the line. Where's he shake out? Top of the board. Quick time late in the session. Luis Gonzalez goes and dethrones Robert Mitchell for bad pole position here in the StickQuik 200 at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Heck of a job by Luis Gonzalez sneaking it in late here in qualifying. With all that being said, we're going to head down trackside for our pre-race festivities and the singing of our national anthem. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly wailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rackets regular, the boats bursting in out, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Back trackside, and if that doesn't get you ready to go racing, I don't know what will. Welcome to today's coverage of the US Indy Car League presented by StickQuik, sponsored by StickQuik.com, JackBumper.com, Draft Top, and RaiseEnergy.com. Today's race at Atlanta Motor Speedway field already through with qualifying. Luis Gonzalez took that top spot. We'll give you your starting lineup for today's race. There you see it lining up inside row. The 15 of Luis Gonzalez. Lining up to his outside, your points leader, the 31 of Robert Mitchell. Row number 2, the 13 of Howard Livingston, followed by the 22 of Oscar Gonzalez. Row number 3, the 131 of Craig Forsyth, followed by the 24 of Richard Kelball. Row number 4, the 004 of Jason Lowe, followed by the 306 of Will Stearns, and rounding out today's field, the 666 of Inigo Mardones. Well, we're going to get set to kick things off very fast as the Ford Mustang pace car lights already out. We're going to get this thing fired off and ready to go. Looks like having a little bit of scoring issues up there at the top. We'll see if we can't get that worked out here in just a brief moment. Pace car down and away, and off goes Gonzalez. Out to an early lead, looks like on the inside. Here comes Howard Livingston side by side with Robert Mitchell for the second position. Already Livingston trying to do what he needs to do, and that's finish in front of Mitchell and, well, try to win today's race. Through turn number 4 in the triangle, back to the stripe, and Gonzalez is going to lead the first lap. Will Howard Livingston trying to take that spot away from Gonzalez in front of him, and he's stuck in a Gonzalez sandwich because Oscar's right behind him. Now looking to the inside, not going to be there. Staying in the slipstream, you've got the 3 cars on the inside. Robert Mitchell way high. Coming out of turn number 4, he's going to lose some ground now, fall all the way back to the 4th position. Luis Gonzalez continuing to lead today's StickQuik 200 here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Howard Livingston just behind him. Oscar Gonzalez to his outside. Robert Mitchell regaining some momentum, now looking to try to get back up there inside that top three. Started in the second position, has fell back to fourth. Craig Forsyth in his 131. Sorry, I do apologize. I thought that was the 306 of Will Stearns, but that is actually the 131 of Craig Forsyth right there, digging right on that gearbox of Robert Mitchell coming off of turn number 2. Jason Lowe, the naked clamp, sitting right there in the 6th spot. He's still in tow, still trying to keep that slipstream as Oscar Gonzalez begins to duck out, try to get some clean air back on the front end of his Dallara IR18. Luis Gonzalez continues to lead the race as we stay green flag racing here on lap number 6. Up at the front, tough battle for the 2nd spot. We'll throw the battle box up there for you. Let you see how close it really is as Luis Gonzalez has kind of stepped out to right about a 3/10 second of a lead. The battle is for the 2nd spot. Oscar Gonzalez now takes that spot away from Howard Livingston. Livingston going to fall to 3rd. Robert Mitchell just about a 10th behind him. There you see the mile-an-hour difference between some of these drivers. Robert Mitchell in that slipstream, 231 miles an hour heading off into turn number 1 right there in the 4th spot. 227. Gonzalez up there with 229 on the dashboard. My goodness, that's moving. That is absolutely moving. These drivers not giving up any ground, not giving any leeway, as it's a fight at the front for the lead. Oscar Gonzalez trying to get there, trying to take that spot away from Luis Gonzalez. Howard Livingston now falling back just a little bit, not quite as close to that rear gear, to that gearbox of the 22. His drivers complete lap number 9, coming to lap number 10 now here at Atlanta Motor Speedway for the StickQuik 200. Side by side, Howard Livingston through the center, now falling just a little bit behind on exit of 2. He's going to have to slot back in that slipstream and try to keep the momentum going, because we're starting to see a little bit of fall off here. A little bit of fall off going on back here for the 004 of Jason Lowe. He's got Richard Kelball in the 24 just behind him. The 666 of Inigo Mardones just behind them. Now Will Stearns making the pass on the outside of Mardones as they come off of turn number 2. This is the tail end of the field. Only about just a little bit over about 2 seconds behind your race leader. Luis Gonzalez still up here, sporting that pretty machine at the front of the field. Has his teammate Oscar Gonzalez just behind him. And look for these two drivers to try to dominate today's race, try to get Gonzalez into the record book for a 4th straight win in a row, and then try to set him up to pull a 5er. That would be absolutely amazing. 5 wins in a row. That would be awesome. Oh, how close is this battle at the front of the field between Luis Gonzalez and Oscar Gonzalez? Teammates very close to each other. Unfortunately, neither one of these teammates really in the hunt for the championship, as Gonzalez got here a little bit late in the season, but has had a dominant season since he has arrived. 3 race wins already. Now looking to the outside of the 15 goes the 22. That's going to bring these two drivers side by side. Momentum's going to slow, but luckily for both of them, Robert Mitchell, Howard Livingston side by side back there for the 3rd position. Livingston gonna prevail as Mitchell had a brief moment off of turn number 2. We'll take a look at this battle as now Craig Forsyth and Jason Lowe slowly starting to bring themselves up to speed here. Catch in on the battle between Howard Livingston and Robert Mitchell. Going to the bottom is Forsyth. Lowe gonna follow through. Back at the front, Gonzalez is on. Gonzalez again. Oscar Gonzalez, top of the charts now, taking the race lead and walking away. That 22 has put his machine in a very familiar place, and that is out front, leading the field. And you know what? Not really liking that camera. So we'll see if we can't get you another shot here. View from high atop in the grandstands, watching these great IndyCar drivers get around this amazingly rough track. Atlanta Motor Speedway, always known for the abrasive track surface, but they are picking them up and laying them down. Sub 26 second lap time still for most of the field out there. Looks like Gonzalez last time by, only driver to keep it under that 26 second, but everybody right there close to that 26 second mark. Maybe I could talk here in a minute. Maybe I can't. We'll figure it out as we go. Green flag since the drop of the green flag here today. No caution so far here tonight. Now Robert Mitchell, big run right there on the gearbox of Livingston. Livingston goes low, Mitchell goes to the top. Looking for a crossover, not going to have the speed to get there just yet. And oh my, Jason Lowe, the 004, able to pass. Craig Forsyth put himself into that 5th position as Forsyth begins to fall off just a little bit. Both of those drivers have stepped away from Richard Kelball in the 24. Will Stearns and Inigo Mardones, both of those drivers still struggling just a little bit to find the pace early here at Atlanta Motor Speedway in the StickQuik 200 here at the US Indy Car League, presented by StickQuik.com, organizers and fasteners. If you haven't been to StickQuik.com yet, you need to go on and head over there. Check out some of the cool products they got to help you just, be a little more organized, have things a little bit straighter. Sometimes it's the space that prevents you from doing it. They got a lot of great products over there, all magnetic products, whether it's the kitchen, the garage, or just in the man cave. They've got something for all of your needs. Head on over to StickQuik.com. Mitchell still digging on the bottom, still trying to take that spot away from Howard Livingston. Livingston not yielding. He's going to run that high line and keep it wound up. Try to keep that 3rd position. Try to gain what he can here in the point standings. But I tell you what, let's go down on board now. Let's go down on board with the driver of that 31. The StickQuik Dallara IR18 as we head around the track here on board with the 31 of Robert Mitchell. There you see the time across the speed charts. Mitchell just about a 10th off of Livingston. Oh, almost into that outside wall. Very, very close moment there. Almost into that outside wall was Robert Mitchell, and we'll see if we can't grab a little bit better view. There you see just behind him Mitchell trying to keep himself in front of that 004 of Jason Lowe. Both of those drivers have stepped away from Craig Forsyth. Forsyth has a little bit of a gap back to Kelball. And I always forget which one it is, but hey, what do you know? There you go. High atop the diffuser, looking back at that 004 of Jason Lowe. Robert Mitchell keeping them at bay and trying to run down Howard Livingston. That battle still rages on, and now it's a battle from third, fourth, and fifth. Not much going on at the front of the field. Since Oscar Gonzalez has gotten the race lead, he has stepped away to right about a 1 second gap back to his teammate in the 15, Luis Gonzalez. Then it is a bigger gap back to Howard Livingston, Robert Mitchell, and Jason Lowe. Lowe goes to the center of the track as Mitchell washes way up. Howard Livingston still running that middle entry, low apex through the corner, keeping Robert Mitchell at bay. And it looks like Mitchell's just struggling a little bit with the grip in the center of the corner. His StickQuik Dallara IR18 keeps on washing up the track a little bit. Here we'll see if it washes up inning in 3 and 4. Able to keep the momentum, able to keep it down there this time. A little bit of washout there at the exit of 4, but this is the corner that he seems to have the most trouble. We'll take a look. Enters high. Doesn't look like it washes up at all that time. Actually was able to turn down the track just a little bit on exit there, so maybe searching for some lines. Is that 31 of Robert Mitchell as he's still right there on the gearbox of Howard Livingston. Livingston leading this trio of cars off of turn 4 back across the stripe to start lap 31 out of the 130 scheduled here in today's official race distance. Green flag since the start of the race, so heck of a job by all these drivers, and we got to start thinking ahead of the game here, because I believe we're going to have a green flag pit stop here. I believe this is going to be a long green flag stint here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Surprisingly, a long green flag stint here at Atlanta Motor Speedway as Mitchell looks to the inside, not able to do it that time by this track known to tear up tires, so surprising, nobody having any issues with the tightness or looseness of their race cars so far here on this beautiful Sunday morning. Do want to thank each and every one of you for joining myself, Darkside Dave in the Cave, here in Turn 3 Racing Network production booth. Each and every time you join us here on Sunday morning watching these great US Indy Car League drivers put on a show for you. Hats off and big shout out to each and every one of you that stopped by. Man, you don't know what you're missing if you haven't been here before. Tune in each and every Sunday for some great IndyCar action, and your race leader gonna bring it down pit road. Oscar Gonzalez down pit road this time by, so he's gonna start that he's gonna start that rotating leader, if you will. As these drivers continue to make their pit stops, we're going to have different leaders happening. Luis Gonzalez now going back to the point after Oscar comes down pit road. Wonder how long that 15 is going to stay out there. Inigo Mardones also on pit road. Mardones slotted in the 8th position. Gonzalez going to fall all the way to last place, all the way to the 9th spot. As we continue, green flag racing. The 15 of Luis Gonzalez now reassumed the race lead 3 laps ago after having the early lead and securing the pole position in qualifying. And this battle just has not went away. Now Robert Mitchell battling with Jason Lowe, trying to keep that 3rd spot as they run right now. Howard Livingston able to separate himself just a little bit from the 31 and the 004, but he has still got a long way to go if he wants to catch up to that 15 of Luis Gonzalez. Gonzalez out to a 2-second lead over the 13 of Howard Livingston. Richard Kelball, Will Stearns, the 24 and the 306, both of those drivers hitting pit road this last time by. So that's going to put about half of our drivers already down pit road for their first pit stop here today at Atlanta Motor Speedway in the StickQuik 200. And here comes Mitchell. Howard Livingston going to stay out on track. Luis Gonzalez staying out on track as well. So that indeed is going to give us half of the field down onto pit road already very early here. Where I say very early, we're working lap 39, coming to the lap 40 here. So just about 90 laps, 91 laps remaining for these US IndyCar League drivers to try to get the job done. And right now, what most of the field is hoping for is that this thing goes or stays green flag throughout this green flag pit cycle. If it doesn't, there's going to be a few drivers out there stuck out, hung out to dry just a little bit, as 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th position all scored one lap down after taking their pit stops. Your top four still continue to stay out on track. Luis Gonzalez followed by Howard Livingston, Jason Lowe in third, then Craig Forsyth in his 131. All stay out on track. Luis Gonzalez hits pit road this time by Howard Livingston. Going to take the lead for the first time here today, and he's got Jason Lowe just behind them. These two drivers playing the long game early here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Maybe some of these drivers that already hit pit road, maybe they're doing the short run now and then going to do the next two long runs. We'll have to wait and see how it all shakes out, what the strategy is like, because there is quite a difference on the tires at this point in time. We'll take a look at it here with the tire strategy. There you see the stints. And Oscar Gonzalez sitting in the 4th spot. He was the first driver on pit road 8 laps ago. So there you see the big difference in the tires between the driver right there, the 13 of Howard Livingston, who continues to stay out on track. And just behind him, Jason Lowe, and then you've got Oscar Gonzalez trying to make his way up to the gearbox, trying to unlap himself the hard way. And how long is Livingston gonna stay out there? Looks to be slowing a little bit here, maybe coming to pit road this time by. Yes, he does. Jason Lowe gonna take the race lead now here at Atlanta Motor Speedway, as Oscar Gonzalez has made his way around that 004. That puts Gonzalez back on to the lead lap. Robert Mitchell still just a little bit behind him, struggling to get himself back on the lead lap, running in the 5th position. Still green flag racing here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Green from the drop or from the start of today's race. 46 laps in the books so far. The 00 of Jason Lowe gonna give up the top spot, bring his machine to pit road. Craig Forsyth also heavy on the brakes. Oh, that's gonna be a close call. And will join what should be your eventual race leader when the green flag pit stops all cycle out, as Jason Lowe and Craig Forsyth on pit road. Here comes Oscar Gonzalez through turn 3, now coming off of 4 through the tri-oval. He'll cross the line and reassume the race lead once again. But where does that put Howard Livingston and Robert Mitchell? Big gap now. And maybe, though, that short pit is the way to go, as Robert Mitchell has found a way to get himself into the 2nd position. 4 seconds back, but nonetheless still sitting in the 2nd spot, looking through the timing and scoring, trying to see if anybody had any issues. and about 2 seconds longer on and off pit road for Howard Livingston, and that is going to hurt him significantly, as he was right there battling with Robert Mitchell for that second and third position for a while. And that slower pit. Oh, and there has been a crash on the track. Looks like Inigo Mardones may have been involved. There you see him getting his machine righted. So we'll take a look back with our Turn 3 replay. Oh, and it looks like just left side's onto the apron, backs it into the outside wall. And that puts us under caution for the first time here today at Atlanta Motor Speedway. One more look at it. And there you see, just gets those tires on the apron. Just gets the tires on the apron there. And yeah, that's all it took. Sometimes that's all it takes to get the car a little bit unsettled, as everybody back down the pit road. Everybody going to get 4 fresh Firestone tires and get back out there on track. And with all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be back with all your live racing action here live on Turn 3 Racing Network from Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Growing up as a kid in Oklahoma, where I'm from, the Chili Bowl is the biggest race that we have. The Chili Bowl has kind of been my favorite race of the year. Growing up a dirt racer in Oklahoma, that's kind of the holy grail.
Thanks for staying with us through our brief commercial break. Back live track side, and Craig Forsyth, he has rolled the dice. Was waiting before I said it. Yes, indeed, he has rolled the dice. Looking for the 7, gambling out here. Trying to take that top spot away. He's going to take that top spot away. He's going to line up in first. Elected not to come down pit road that last time by. And that is going to put an interesting little wrinkle into the front of the field. Do keep in mind, Forsyth wasn't on pit road too long ago. We'll take a look real quick here. There you see it, about 5 laps ago is when that 131 of Craig Forsyth decided to hit pit road. So his crew chief telling him, stay out, let's get the track position, let's get the clean air on that nose cone of that Dallara IR18 and see if it can't help the speed out a little bit more as opposed to being caught up in some dirty air back in the pack. We'll have to wait and see what that does for the 131 of Craig Forsyth. Want to give a big shout out to a driver not here today, Tim Keene, for the Whelen Engineering team off at a racetrack with Nasser, and that team was able to take the top spot in qualifying and actually walk away with a race win as well. So congratulations to all the guys involved with that. Big shout out to you and everything you're doing with that team over there, Tim. Heck of a job so far. Heck of a way to hit the track again. And we do miss you out there on track this week, but when real life racing calls, you got to answer that one and take care of your business. So congratulations to you and everybody over there at the Whelen Engineering crew and team. Heck of a job walking away with the race win. All that being said, we're getting ready for the restart, the one and only restart so far here. We've only had one caution in today's StickQuik 200 field. Single file behind the Ford Mustang pace car. As the lights are out, it will duck off this time by, and we'll get set to go back green flag racing once again here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. On the gas is Forsyth, and away we go. Green flag once again here at Atlanta Motor Speedway for the StickQuik 200 in the US Indy Car League, presented by StickQuik. Forsyth off to a great jump. Gonzalez still in tow, but not able to strike just yet. Richard Kelball right there in third. Howard Livingston now running in fourth as Robert Mitchell finds himself back in the fifth spot after making an extra pit stop. Getting all the gas that he can, ensuring that he can go as far as he needs to go. Now battle at the front as Gonzalez has taken that top spot away from Forsyth. Kelball right there on his gearbox, looking to do the same. Looking to the outside. Going around Kelball is Livingston. Now Livingston cutting to the inside. Gonna take the spot away from Forsyth on entry to 3. Oh, close battle for a moment there between the 24 and the 131. Forsyth stuck on the outside lane. Now Robert Mitchell stuck behind. Those two drivers battling side by side as Howard Livingston tries to get to the gearbox of Gonzalez. Still very tight battle at the front after the restart of the race. Gonzalez in the first spot. Oh, Mitchell, a little bit of touch with the wall. Those right side tires touch that outside wall just a little bit. That's going to slow his momentum as Craig Forsyth going to take the third spot away. But now digging back to the inside goes the 31 StickQuik Dallara IR18 being driven by Robert Mitchell side by side down the back stretch. Those two drivers continue this battle for the third spot. Mitchell prevails on the inside lane, but will the momentum work for Forsyth? Not enough room to slide up just yet. Now Mitchell slides up. Forsyth staying glued to the gearbox, now going just a little bit lower in 1 and 2. That's not going to work out. Loses a little bit of ground through 1 and 2 as now he's got Richard Kelball and Jason Lowe. Both of those drivers right there in the hunt and in the fight as well. Your top 6 drivers all over each other as we have slowly closed in on the halfway point here today at Atlanta Motor Speedway for the StickQuik 200. Drivers coming across the line to start lap 61 this time by out of the 130 scheduled in today's official race distance. No green-white checkers here in the US Indy Car League presented by StickQuik.com, so you got to get it done And just in case we get a late race caution, you have got to put your machine in the winning position. You have got to do what it takes to get yourself to the front of the field as the gaps slowly begin to build from the front all the way back. Oscar Gonzalez still enjoying a little bit of a race lead. Not very much, only about a 1/10 and a half to 2/10 of a gap back to Howard Livingston. Robert Mitchell now sitting right at about 3/4 of a second back from Gonzalez as he finds himself just about 4/10 of a second behind Howard Livingston. So your top 3 drivers all still within 1 second. Your top 4 drivers all within 1 second. A little bit new graphic here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Gonna show it to you just one more time. This is the gap in the intervals, how they've been running lap after lap as Gonzalez there you see just a little over 2/10, now make it 3/10 of a second gap, and there you see around lap 58, gap was big. Livingston closed it in, but then Gonzalez the last 3 laps has continued to build a lead. Little by little, lap after lap, that lead growing. Now look at the big gain that last time by for Gonzalez. So Gonzalez doing what he needs to do throughout the race, and I tell you what, let's go down on board with one of our overhead driver cam shots here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. We'll go on board with your race leader, Oscar Gonzalez. And there you see it, leading the race without a slipstream, 216 miles an hour into turn number 1, not dropping beneath that 200 mile an hour mark the entire way through the corner. Keep your eye on it, 205, 202. That is absolutely flying. Gonzalez continues to lead the field off of turn number 2. Howard Livingston still hot on his trail, but not able to close the distance as Robert Mitchell goes high through 3 and 4. Mitchell seems to like that high lane here at Atlanta Motor Speedway, maybe thinking that it's not as abrasive on the tires. We could see this being a tire strategy more than a fuel strategy. We'll just have to wait and see how it all shakes out as drivers continue their way into turn number 3. Coming out of 4 now is your race leader, Oscar Gonzalez, gonna cross the line. 70 laps in the book. We are over the halfway point. And can Gonzalez do the unthinkable and walk away with a 3 wins in a row? That is going to be an amazing thing here. If he can manage that and then manage to win next week when we hit Charlotte Motor Speedway for the season finale here in season number 6 for the US Indy Car League, presented by StickQuik here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. If he can bring it home again there, that will be 4 race wins in a row, and nobody has been able to string that many back-to-back wins since my time here with the US Indy Car League, presented by StickQuik. A lot of great drivers, but none of them have been able to string 4 wins in a row. As we watch the battle here for the second spot, Robert Mitchell able to close the gap to Howard Livingston, but once he got there, not able to do anything with it. He's going to fall behind just a little bit now. After washing way up the track and almost into that outside wall, there you see that very high entry once again by Robert Mitchell and a big run down the backstretch. He's going to be on the gearbox going into 3. Well, you know, they say getting there's one thing, getting around them is another, and that seems to be an issue here today for that 31 quick stick Dallara IR18. He's able to get the big run off of the corners, but not able to do anything with the momentum once he gets there. A little bit of ground lost that time by both of these drivers as they continue to battle for the second spot. Oscar Gonzalez now out to almost a half a second lead over the 13 of Howard Livingston. Robert Mitchell still on the gearbox now, looking to the high side once again in 1 and 2. Will he keep the momentum? Will he be able to take the spot off of 2? Now looking to cross over, blocked by Livingston. That's going to leave Mitchell in a precarious situation. He's got to go to the high side now in turn 3 and 4 as Livingston still hugging the bottom. Mitchell almost into that outside wall as your race leaders slowly begin to catch up to lap traffic. That's going to change the dynamics of not only this green flag run, but this race right now. And it looks like drivers just moving right out of the way. Don't want to be any trouble to the race leaders. But Gonzalez has been able to put 3 more tenths of a second over these two drivers as they continue to battle side by side. Now Robert Mitchell looking to the inside into 1 and 2. Livingston stuck on the high lane as Mitchell has the bottom, gonna squeeze in front, keep the run blocked. Jason Lowe, the 004, now he's closed in after this battle has raged on 3, 4, 5 laps in a row now. Now the 004 looks to the inside of Livingston, not able to get there just yet. Looking to the inside in 1 and 2, 2, almost 3 wide for a brief moment, going through the center of 1 and 2. Robert Mitchell almost into that outside wall, and that slows his momentum, and now Livingston and Lowe are right there again. Mitchell dives to the bottom in 3, keeping that bottom lane away from Howard Livingston, forcing him and Jason Lowe to run that high side. Back across the stripe that time by the race lead now for Oscar Gonzalez, upwards of 1 second. As these drivers continue to battle behind him, that is just letting him set sail. Coast is clear. Mitchell now beginning to squeeze away, increase the gap over Livingston as him and Jason Lowe continue to battle now for the 3rd spot. Side by side, the 004 down on the inside lane, keeping it down there. No harm, no foul, no touching going on through the corner. Livingston still runs that middle to high lane, giving the inside lane to the 004. Jason Lowe not able to capitalize just yet. A little bit of a block there, a little bit of a wiggle out of that 13 of Howard Livingston as he drops back to the bottom. Going through 1 and 2, he's got a 2-car gap over the 004 of Jason Lowe. Big run off of 2 on the inside for Jason Lowe, looking over his right shoulder. You can hear that gearbox working as he makes his way almost completes the pass. Going to give him the third spot at the line, but Livingston right there still. Do want to keep everybody reminded today. There you see it, round number 12 here in the US Indy Car League presented by StickQuik.com. We've got one more round remaining. One more race left here in the US Indy Car League presented by StickQuik to determine who will win the championship here in season number 6. Who's going to get the job done? Who's going to take away the title? We'll find out next Sunday morning at Charlotte Motor Speedway here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Do want to thank each and every one of you for joining us out there today. All the fans, friends, family, viewers, stopper, buyers, comers, goers. We appreciate each and every time you stop by here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, whether it's myself, Darkside Dave in the cave, or any of the other guys back behind the scenes at Turn 3 Racing Network, Youth in the Booth, Chris Legue, Rick Hammond, Danny Valenzuela, the Outlaw, KR Stolfus, Cody Early, Al, all of them. Heck of a job all of you guys do for everything we do. Yeah, I lost train of thought, so we'll just roll on. Pit stop underway for Jason Lowe. I believe he's going to try to make it to the end with this pit stop very early. Saw right around the 40, 42 or 43 laps to go mark. He should be able to stretch this thing to the end. Just wonder how long your race leader is going to stay out there on track after noticing the short pit attempt by Jason Lowe, as he is now relegated back to the 7th position due to his pit stop. Luis Gonzalez also being scored 1 lap down. Craig Forsyth, Richard Kelball, both of those drivers onto pit road for what could be the final stop of the race for both of those drivers. Going to keep our eye on Robert Mitchell as well as Howard Livingston, see if either of these drivers decide to try to undercut and utilize the short pit. Your top 3 continue to stay out on track. Gonzalez, Mitchell, Livingston still turning laps while the rest of the field has already been to pit road. First driver on and off pit road, Jason Lowe, sitting in the 4th position, gaining 5 spots from the start of today's race, but still being scored 1 lap down as your top 3 drivers continue to trek around this track. Not going to pit road. 2.5 second race lead for the driver of the 22, Oscar Gonzalez, and he is looking to repeat the last 2 weeks and put his machine back in victory lane once again. We'll have to wait and see if that's what takes place, because, you know, we could have a caution here late, and it could involve your race leader. So it's never done until the checkered flag waves, and even then, sometimes you got to watch for post-race penalties and things of that nature. As your race leader peels off, that's going to leave Robert Mitchell and Howard Livingston out there on track by themselves. And we'll have to keep an eye on Jason Lowe, see where he rejoins the field. He was running in I believe he was in the 4th spot. We'll have to see if he makes any gains as Robert Mitchell pulls his machine off of pit road, and Howard Livingston staying out. Still staying out on track is that 13 of Howard Livingston. We've got right about the 40 laps or so, 36-ish. Y'all know I can't count. I don't know why I try to do this to myself. Nonetheless, Livingston not going to stay out for the long run much longer. He's going to come to pit road this time by. We'll wait and see how it all shakes out as Jason Lowe now goes to the second spot. He has been able to jump Craig Forsyth, Robert Mitchell, and Oscar Gonzalez with that short pit. So this could be the winning move of the race as Livingston still in his pit box. Down and away, but he's not going to have the speed to keep Jason Lowe behind him. There you see, taking that top spot that time by across the line. New race leader, the 004 of Jason Lowe. Craig Forsyth in his 131 after that early pit stop finds himself back in the second position. Oscar Gonzalez now finds himself a little bit behind the ball, a little bit behind the 8 ball, sitting almost 6 seconds behind your race leader Jason Lowe. So Lowe basically having to manage a 5.5 second gap right now as Oscar Gonzalez with a moment, him and Robert Mitchell, those two battling right now. We'll go back, keep our eye on this battle. This battle is for the 3rd and 4th position, but still the closest battle on track as your race leader Jason Lowe enjoys a 2.3 second gap back to Craig Forsyth, then another 3.5 seconds back from Forsyth to this 2-car battle between Oscar Gonzalez and Robert Mitchell. Then unfortunately for Howard Livingston, a little bit slow of a stop for him as well, and that puts him a little bit further behind. Now running in the 5th spot, but finds himself about 3 seconds behind this battle on screen. Do want to give a big shout out to that 31 crew. Their car and driver able to squeak out the fastest lap of the race of 25:17 for that 31. And it looks like the closest driver to him was Jason Lowe with a 25:29. So there's definitely some speed in that 31 machine of Robert Mitchell, as he has not only been able to pass Gonzalez during that green flag pit cycle, but he's been able to hold him at bay right here coming off of turn 2, trying to block that inside run, but Gonzalez goes to the top, never even looked to go to the bottom. As these two drivers battle side by side, big gap in between them, nobody close to touching anything like that, as Gonzalez continues to try to run that high lane, and this is just going to go to help Jason Lowe's attempt at the undercut in run 2 victory lane. These two drivers have gained 2 seconds on them in almost 10 laps, but they are still 4.5 seconds behind, and the more they run side by side, the more they're going to run those tires out, the harder they're going to have to run to try to take that spot away. And they've still got quite a ways to go just to get to the driver in front of them. Craig Forsyth also on that short pit, that undercut strategy. He finds himself in second, 2.5 seconds behind your race leader. Back up at the front, this man enjoying what he sees, and that's nothing in front of him and very little in his rear view or side view mirrors. Jason Lowe has Craig Forsyth 2.1 seconds back behind him, then another 2.3 seconds back to Oscar Gonzalez, so a 4.5 second race lead with about 26 laps remaining. And can Jason Lowe put that 004 into victory lane? could spoil the show with a great pit strategy. We'll have to wait and see how it all unfolds here on Turn 3 Racing Network in the StickQuik 200. Live here today from Atlanta Motor Speedway. Gonna go back to the battle on the track. Oscar Gonzalez, Robert Mitchell, both of those drivers right here with each other. Now looks like Gonzalez able to step away just a brief moment there. Now a 10-15 car length lead over Robert Mitchell. So Gonzalez able to finally get clear and step away. Is that going to allow him what he needs? Is that going to give him the time he needs to make a run and a charge back to the front? There you see Craig Forsyth just off in the distance in front of that 22 of Oscar Gonzalez as they continue around the track. Green flag still in the air. Lap 108 out of 130 scheduled in today's official race distance. Only one caution on the day here today at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Inigo Mardones touched the apron through the corner, and these IndyCar machines really don't they really don't like that when you upset the car like that. Have half of it loaded up on that banking in the corners, and the other in the left side tires down on the apron. Not really they don't really like that. Upsets the whole car balance. And look at this, just like that gap has went from 4.5 seconds now down to about right around the 2-second mark for Oscar Gonzalez. 21 laps remaining. Now looking to the inside on the second place runner, Craig Forsyth. Can he dispose of Forsyth and chase down that 004 of Jason Lowe? It's a two-car battle now for second place. Can Forsyth hold up Gonzalez? Gonzalez going to go to the top of the track, not able to make the pass just yet. Oh my goodness, things are heating up. Big moment for Jason Lowe. He loses a ton of ground. Oh my, 2-3 wide through 3. Gonzalez through the center and back to the point is that 22 of Oscar Gonzalez. So not gonna be denied. Driving to the front goes Gonzalez, and he's going to set his sights on that three-peat now. Strategy almost paying off for Jason Lowe. He's lost a lot of ground after a big-time moment through the center of 1 and 2 and down the backstretch. Craig Forsyth also able to get by, take the second position away. Robert Mitchell trying to close in, trying to put himself into a podium position as we have clicked off most of the race already. Only 16 laps remain here from Atlanta Motor Speedway for the StickQuik 200, the US Indy Car League, presented by StickQuik.com. Also associated sponsor JackBumper.com, DraftTop.com, and RaiseEnergy.com. And my goodness, what pace out of that 22 of Oscar Gonzalez. He was about 6 seconds behind your race leader, Jason Lowe. In a matter of laps, not only caught and diminished, deleted that 6-second race lead, but has now grown his race lead to over a 1-second gap. So that is a 7-second makeup over this green flag run. Oh, and a big moment there for Jason Lowe. Lowe, little bit of trouble coming off of 2. tough break for Jason Lowe as he's now falling through the field. Had the top spot for a while, but now slotted back in the 4th spot. And oh my, what happened to Howard Livingston? Livingston all the way back in the 5th position now after a great start and run through the majority of the race. Now finds himself behind the field and behind the 8 ball. Has to go up there and try to make up a few spots if he can. And making up a ton of time there on exit of turn number 2 is Howard Livingston on that 004 of Jason Lowe. Just in front of them, Robert Mitchell. There you see his 31 StickQuik machine just out in front of that 004. But Livingston closing in fast. We are coming closer and closer to the 20 lap to go mark now. Only got about 22 laps remaining here at Atlanta Motor Speedway in the StickQuik 200. Gotta mention it because the gap is closing little by little. Oscar Gonzalez still out with the race lead. And oh, sorry, my bad. Gap looked like it was closing little by little, but it has actually been growing little by little. Race lead now 2.5 seconds for the man on screen right here, driver of the 22 machine, Oscar Gonzalez. Heck of a job, heck of a drive out of him and his crew. And look at this, now a battle for the 2nd spot. Craig Forsyth still trying to keep himself in a podium position, keep his Dallara IR18 in front of Robert Mitchell. Jason Lowe still right there, and here comes Howard Livingston. It's a 4-car battle from 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Haven't gave you the ticker all race long. Figure we'll run out the last 10 laps here with the turn 3 ticker up there on the top of the screen. There you see the gaps being displayed, as well as Howard Livingston able to make the pass on Jason Lowe. Put Lowe back to 5th. Livingston into 4th. Mitchell gets around Forsyth. Now can Livingston take that final podium spot away? Looking to the inside now. Robert Mitchell way up the track, and up the track goes Forsyth, and Livingston with a big run. He's going to get to the gearbox of Mitchell as they go to turn number 1. Howard Livingston right there on the gearbox trying to get the job done, not going to the inside, down the backstretch. 7 laps to go here at Atlanta Motor Speedway in the StickQuik 200. As the leader crosses the line, only 6 laps remaining here today. Only 1 caution so far here tonight. And if we get a caution now, that's pretty much going to put an end to the race. So these drivers not wanting to see any incidents, any trouble. They're going to want to try to race this thing on out. 6 laps remaining when the leader crosses the line this time by. As he makes his way through the tri-oval, only 5 laps now remaining for Oscar Gonzalez to three-peat here today at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Can he get the job done? Can Livingston go up there and take that 2nd spot away from Robert Mitchell? Jason Lowe now able to pass Craig Forsyth, put him back into the 4th spot, as Lowe driving his guts out right now, trying to get himself into a podium spot. Race lead continuing to grow for Oscar Gonzalez as there's only 4 laps now remaining. 3.3 second race lead for Gonzalez over Mitchell, Livingston, and Lowe. big battle still raging between these three drivers. These final podium spots not determined just yet. And the only way Oscar Gonzalez is not going to take that top spot is unless he has a moment and crashes his IndyCar out of today's race, as he's got the popsicle sticks. 2 laps remaining for the 22. Can he bring it home? Already halfway down the back stretch as we continue to watch this battle between Robert Mitchell, Howard Livingston, and Jason Lowe. Your race leader gonna come out of 4 this time to take the white flag here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Only 4 more corners for this 22 down into turn number 1. No problems at all. Coming off of turn number 2 now. Down the back stretch once again. Into turn number 3 for the final time today. Off of turn 4, well and clear of the field, and victory at hand for that 22 of Oscar Gonzalez coming across the stripe. Robert Mitchell going to slide in second. Howard Livingston in third. Jason Lowe going to cross the stripe in fourth. And in fifth, Craig Forsyth. Sixth place will be the 24 of Richard Kelball. And in seventh, Will Stearns. Eighth, after crashing out and having some trouble, your pole sitter, Luis Gonzalez. And after early trouble and backing the car into the outside wall, going to be slotted in the ninth and final finishing position. Inigo Mardones. And well, as your podium drivers get to the start-finish line and allow Gonzalez to enjoy a little bit of celebration, we're going to step away for a brief moment here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with your post-race interviews.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real-world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Thanks for staying with us. Back for your post-race interviews here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Gonna see if we can't get in a few words with your podium drivers out there today. Driver finishing in the third position, walking away with yet another podium. Driver of that 13 machine, Howard Livingston. Is Dave in the booth? You got a copy?
Sure do, Dave. Good to see you, buddy.
Good to see you and good to hear from you once again, man. Walking away with another podium finish, so got to be happy about that.
We're elated. Yeah, the 13 Care Camps car ran great all day, and just some great competitors out there. Congrats to Oscar and Robert, who finished in front of him. No, we had a great race. Our strategy, again, was just stay out of trouble and be as quick as we can, and it worked out. We got on the podium.
Now, walk us through pit road a little bit here today, not to kind of poke the tiger or kick the horse when it's down, whatever you want to say. We got some weird sayings in the South. That's all I'm going to say. But anyways, a 2-second longer stop than most of the competitors on that first green flag stop. Was there a gun sticking or what happened there?
No, I actually, I kind of screwed up coming into the pit, so that wasn't my error.
Okay, and once again, not to I don't even know the good terminology, but not to you know what I mean, not to be a butthead or anything like that. I was just kind of wondering because I remember you mentioning that maybe pit stops not always being the forte for you and the crew, and just wasn't sure if something went wrong or how that all took place.
No, more than anything, it's just me being probably a little too conservative coming in. I spun out a couple of times in practice going in the pit, so I think I was overly conservative.
All right, my man. Well, heck of a season for you so far. You're going to find yourself in the second position in the point standings, I believe. You were already coming into this race. Going to lose just a little bit of ground on Robert Mitchell going into the final race at Charlotte. What's your thoughts looking forward to our season finale?
Charlotte is such a great track. I love it. It's fast, and it's going to be a lot of pack racing, and these guys are all good at it. So we're going to have to bring our A game to Charlotte for sure.
All right, my man. Well, once again, congratulations on another podium finish here this season. Congratulations. Before we let you go, would you like to give any shout outs, thank yous, love yous?
Got to say I love you to my wife, Cinderella, and big shout out to care camps, all the kids with cancer. Let them recover quickly.
All right, well, there you have it. Some few final short words, right to the point. Your third place finisher here today, Howard Livingston, doing a fantastic job all season long. And let's see if we can't get in a word now with the driver walking away in the second spot here today in the StickQuik 200 from Atlanta Motor Speedway. Robert Mitchell, it's Dave in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. How's everybody doing? Hope they enjoyed the race. I did.
I sure did. That's for sure. Want to highlight a little something here. You fell behind the field a little bit there. You're running around the fifth spot or so. What was the strategy at that point to get you back up inside the top three?
Well, with this setup's pretty slick. The track was hot, and what I was doing, I was searching around for a better line with the draft, figured a way out to get some passing done. Just trying to bide my time and strategize for a good pitch stop. And when it was time to go, I had to go.
Well, I don't want to count my chickens before the eggs hatch, my man, but I'm going to anyway because, I like to party. I like to gamble with stuff like this. So, congratulations, I believe, with the finish today in second. I don't think there's any mathematical possibility that anybody's going to be able to overtake you in the point standing. So, congratulations. I'm going to call it early on your championship here in season number 6. So hats off to that. Great year for you so far. Is that going to change your mentality heading into our final race, the season finale at Charlotte Motor Speedway next week?
No, I'm going to go out there and try to win. That's my intentions, to win every race that I enter. We got to take away the 2 worst races for everybody, but I don't think the points are going to matter that much for my 2 worst races. I still should be pretty good for the championship, but I'm 85% sure that the numbers won't change too much.
And if anybody ever watches or tunes in, they all know how I am with math, so don't expect what I say to hold true. But I believe you may have this one sewed up. And with that being said, man, congratulations on not only a second-place finish here today, but more than likely going ahead and clinching that season title here in season number 6. But before we let you go here today, Robert, would you like to give any more shout-outs, thank yous, love yous?
Yes, I would. First off, StickQuik, thank you for being our partner in this league. We wouldn't be live without them. And just an announcement, they will be back for season 7. It starts, I believe, August 23rd. Should be an exciting season. And everybody that races in this league just makes it what it is. And thanks for the fans for watching.
All right, well, there you go. Some few final words from the driver finishing in second today, and more than likely sewing up his championship here in season number 6. My goodness, great job all year long for that 31 of Robert Mitchell. Now let's see if we can't get in a word or two with the driver finishing in the top spot yet again, walking away with a 3rd win in a row. Oscar Gonzalez, hats off. Congratulations, man.
Thank you very much, Dave. Thank you, mate.
Walk us through a little bit of your race. You didn't qualify as well as you would have liked to. You went up there, you got the race lead, then some short pits and things of that nature found you behind on that last stint. Did you think the car had what it took to get back to the front?
Creo que lo he entendido, Luis.
Vale, vale.
Sí, sí, creo que lo he entendido. A ver, la quali para mí es importante aquí por ir con el aire limpio. Eso es impresionantemente importante, muy importante. No he calificado muy bien y luego he intentado ponerme primero para tener sobre todo aire limpio. La estrategia de 4 paradas yo creía que era la mejor, parando cada 33 vueltas, porque se va muchísimo más rápido, casi 2-3 segundos más rápido que el que se queda. Entonces creo que la estrategia de hacer una parada más que el resto, yo creo que era la correcta. Al final ha salido la amarilla y hemos tenido que cambiar la estrategia.
Well, basically, he didn't qualify very good, so he Oscar the qualifying is very important because you have a clear draft. You don't have a dirty draft or a carb in the front. So he thinking about to make 1 pit stop more, but hopefully the yellow flag is there, so it's changing everything. So the car is very amazing, I say, but yeah, basically say that. So the about the qualifying, he didn't qualify very good. He's really surprised about the qualifying, and actually if the races go for green, then 130 laps, so he say he's gonna make 1 pit stop more than the other guys.
All right. Well, I know qualifying matters a ton, and we'll get to some qualifying here in just 1 second. I'll talk to you, Luis. We do appreciate you coming up here and translating and things of that nature for us here in the Turn 3 Racing Network booth. Oscar, 3 wins in a row. Do you think you can make it 4 in a row and notch something that nobody's been able to do here in the US Indy Car League, and that's win 4 races back to back?
¿Entendiste?
¿Ha dicho Luis de las victorias?
Te ha dicho, has hecho 4 victorias. O sea, nadie ha hecho esto. ¿Tú crees que puedes hacer más victorias yendo detrás para adelante?
Pues no lo sé. Se me está dando bien las carreras. Estoy acertando sobre todo con el setup. En el entrenamiento de antes estamos acertando con el setup y para mí es lo más importante. El setup en esta nueva fixed es, vamos, es media carrera. Es ganar media carrera el acertar en el setup. Entonces, si en las siguientes carreras acierto en el setup y tengo suerte, pues puede que gane alguna carrera más.
Basically, I don't know. He don't know if he's gonna win 1 more race, and everything is about the setup. Basically, it's about setup. You know, the new fixed setup with white jacket and RB and everything is new. So if the setup is good, we can make good race on the moment. So it's everything about the setup, and I hopefully can win the next race, but it's dependent for the setup for sure. In training, his catch setup, his catch, what kind of white jacket use. So it's basically what kind of things is gonna depend about also actually for the track temperature, everything. So it's about what kind of setup it is, and so I hopefully he say hopefully can win the next race.
Well, that would definitely be a cool thing to watch and witness. A driver being able to get to victory lane 4 races in a row hasn't been done yet here in the US Indy Car League. Shout out to you though, Luis, with your pole here today. Great job out there for that, man. Congratulations on that. Thank you for coming up here in the booth and helping us out here with the post race interviews. Either of you got any more shout outs, thank yous, love yous?
For Oscar or for me? You asking for Oscar or for me,
either one. You both got the mic. Have at it.
Yeah. Oscar always say thank you for everybody. Thank you for Mitchell. Thank you for you, Dave. Thank you for the broadcast. Thank you for our team. It's a Nike Racing team. So thank you for everybody. Yeah. About for myself, I did the good pole position, but when I went to the pit stop, I didn't catch the brake point. So when I brake the car, the car is spinning on my back, so it's a little bit oversteer. So when I got there, the car is moved, so I hit the cone on there, so I get 40 seconds 40-second hold on my pit stop. So yeah, I didn't practice the pit stop, so I think so it's 40% win one race if you practice the pit stop, so it's very good. But for me, good for Oscar, and congrats for Oscar, and congrats for you guys, and thank you so much for today.
All right, well, we look forward to catching up with both of you gentlemen next week at Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Thank you so much. Dice que Charlotte es la próxima, Oscar.
Sí, muchas gracias, Dave. Thank you so much, everybody.
All right, well, there you have it. Some few final words from Oscar Gonzalez on his race win and what he thinks his chances are at going out there and securing a 4th win in a row. Do want to say thank you for Luis Gonzalez for coming up and translating when we need him to, and joining us here in the booth for that. Big shout out to you for doing that for us all season long as well, Luis. So yeah, that's pretty much it. There's not much left to do here at the Turn 3 Racing Network booth except give you your final unofficial race results, and we'll jump right into that now. Walking away with the race win for the 3rd week in a row, the always fast 22 of Oscar Gonzalez. Coming home in 2nd here today, the 31 of Robert Mitchell. 3rd place here today, the 13 of Howard Livingston. Jason Lowe and his 004 going to slot home in 4th, rounding out your top 5, the 131 of Craig Forsyth. The 24 of Richard Kelball going to finish in 6th. And in 7th will be the 306 of Will Stearns. Luis Gonzalez in his 15 machine sat on the pole position, but after some early trouble, found himself way behind the field, 24 laps down and in the 8th position. The 666 of Inigo Mardones with some trouble as well, backing it into the fence. That's going to relegate his day to an early finish, and he will walk away in the 9th in a final spot here today in the StickQuik 200 from Atlanta Motor Speedway. Want to say thanks to each and every one of you for joining us here today, not just from myself, Darkside Dave, in the Turn 3 Racing Network booth, but for all these drivers out there on track. If you haven't already, toss them a thumbs up, hit subscribe, smash the bell over there on the right-hand side, get notified anytime we go live here on Turn 3 Racing Network. And well, with that being said, ain't much left to do except wrap up the wires and get ready to go to Charlotte Motor Speedway for our championship race next weekend. Look forward to see you there. Until then, stay safe, stay loved. We'll see you then.